What are some ways to add romance to your relationship? Not strictly romantic, but show some delight when you see your spouse. It's very easy when you come home to finally groan or vent about your day, but make the effort when you see your spouse to show you are glad to see them. Mark milestones. Had a good day? Does your spouse have something to celebrate? Do something to mark the occasion, go out to dinner. Or, always keep a bottle of bubbles in the refrigerator. Compliment them. Note when they look good, or did something smart, or made you proud. You don't have to write a note. Just take a moment to stop and say it, sincerely. That shit goes a long way. My husband often laughs about how excited I am when he gets home. He's always asking why I'm so goofy. I just get so excited to see him. Complimenting your partner can go a long way if you appreciate something they did, or think they did something really well, or even just did their best, or even if you just get the urge when you look at them to say you're really handsome, sexy, beautiful, etc. It will make them feel good. But if you make it a habit, a common thing that you just want to make them happy in little ways every day, and a lot of other answers here are good for that too, you'd be surprised how much you can fall in love all over again with just seeing a smile. I often will look at my partner and think, wow, he looks extra delicious, so I'll interrupt him and tell him he looks handsome today. It always makes him happy. And he'll almost always stop me when I'm in my workout clothes to tell me I look sexy. Works wonders. Celebrating our 5-year anniversary this week. Handwritten notes and surprise gifts. I was recently on a work trip on the other side of the world. I knew my wife and son were going to miss me a lot, so before I left I hid little notes and gifts, one for each day I would be gone, all around the house. While on the trip I would send my wife a text and tell her to take my son to the bottom of the bathroom closet or wherever I hid that day's stuff. She said it really helped her while I was gone to have something fun to look forward to and to read the notes. Excellent work. I made a scavenger hunt for my partner and son for Christmas. Gave it to them a few days beforehand as we had to travel. I'm pretty sure my partner was about 2,938% more excited than our 4-year-old. I had to keep reminding him to go slow. That is so sweet. Exercise together. It boosts your dopamine, serotonin, and overall mood, and this boost can be important during time spent with your partner. I love to play sports with my SO, volleyball, pickleball, go hiking, run races, do yoga, and even just going for a walk is a good way to connect and talk while moving. Try new things together. Go to a pottery class, go to a museum, try a new type of cuisine together, whatever. New adventures, even small ones, can keep things fresh. And express gratitude sincerely and often to your partner. Gratitude has been shown to be one of the few ways to actually increase happiness. Did you say pickleball? So apparently pickleball is a lot like paddleball from my 30 seconds looking at Google's first page. But I had the same reaction as you. My wife is a physical therapist and will occasionally write an informative article on physical therapy for the local small-town newspaper. I like to cut the articles out of the newspaper, put them on the fridge with a magnet, then draw a heart around her picture and write total hot tea next to it and wait until she notices. That's wholesome. That is so sweet. This is my favorite one. Underrated comment. Adorable. Surprise dates. Make notes of what your SO randomly says, like write them in your notes on your phone without being obvious OFC, and a few months or weeks down the line surprise them. It's fun and shows them you care and are listening. I do this all year, and come holidays and birthdays, I never have to scramble to come up with an idea. Yes, I read on here not that long ago to take notes in my phone of what my SO points out he likes or is interested in. So when it comes time to B-days or Christmas or anniversary, I can pick a gift based on what he's interested in that year. It's the best advice I've gotten on here. My boyfriend doesn't do this. He gives me cash, which can be used for anything, but it would be nice if he'd buy me something. It would show he was paying attention. And feel giftier. Edit. I will take the advice of so many of you and mention it to him. Thank you all. My husband has the tendency to leave his chewed gum in wrappers on my vanity. He collects them throughout the day and puts them in his pocket, then dumps them out when he empties his pocket. When we first moved in together, this annoyed me. He wouldn't throw them away. I thought this was gross. He then went on deployment at the beginning of our engagement for 7 months. I miss everything about him. Even his old chewed gum in wrappers. I told him this. Halfway through his deployment, he sent me a letter full with old chew gum in wrappers that I could put on my vanity. I cried so much about it. It was the grossest, most romantic thing someone has done for me so far. Thanks for this reminder. Sometimes I get really annoyed when my girlfriend leaves used tissues everywhere. She has an issue where she can't really blow her nose well, but always seems to have the sniffles, but I'm sure I'd miss them if she weren't there anymore. Talk about what you two want. Talk about your days and actually listen, not just wait for your turn to talk. Try new stuff together. My husband and I like to take showers together and talk about all this stuff. It's the best. No phones in the shower, so no distractions. Just warm soapy water, nudity, and great conversation. We end up talking about our days, our hopes, fantasizing about the future, etc. And we talk about a lot of light stuff too. My husband and I do this too. It's very rare that we shower separately. We talk about our work days and trash talk each other's bosses, or if we've just binged some Netflix, we discuss what we thought about it and make predictions for future episodes. My wife used to lay down on the couch and lay her head in my lap. I love to brush her long hair and admire the color, texture, and smell of her hair. It made me feel so peaceful and connected to her. She would get so relaxed and it was like I was watching the tension drain from her body. I found it very romantic and so did she. My husband does this to me every night after we put the baby to bed. It turns me into a puddle of goo. Good for him. It sounds like he's a keeper. best wishes with the baby. What an exciting time in life. Thank you. I am cherishing the moments. For us, it's the little things. Bringing home my husband's favorite candy if he's had a bad day, him rubbing my back when I'm having a hard time sleeping, putting little notes in each other's lunchboxes. Just the little things to show you care. Yeah, it might seem childish, but these kinds of things keep my heat still fluttering after 8-ish years. Edit. I can't believe how much this comment blew up. It's been great reading about all the little things you all do too. And thank you to the nice person who gave me my first silver. There's nothing childish about it. It's sweet. Adults love being taken care of like children too. My parents are like children too. I would tell them to do something, they don't do it. And it usually ends with something happening and me saying, well, I told you so. My wife always seems to sneak little notes into my luggage when I'm traveling for work, and I always forget about it, and then when I get to the hotel I find them hidden in my suitcase or briefcase, and it's truly wonderful. I put a love note on my wife's desktop in a text document, and it took like 6 years for her to find it. Reminds me of this one time I was taking a shower, husband came in the bathroom for something and wrote a note on the mirror in the steam. Which was sweet, except I didn't see it until much later, while I had been home alone all day and took an afternoon hot shower. That's the scariest I love you I've ever gotten. Also, I swear we're not gross and clean normally. I don't know why, but it literally took several cleanings to make the note go away. I have no idea why. My girlfriend is lactose intolerant, but there's a vegan ice cream she loves. I always try to get her a box if I need to stop by the grocery store. Good to know she probably recognizes the gesture. Edit. Holy shit, my first gold. Thank you so much, stranger. Much love. So delicious cashew milk ice cream is my favorite. It's the best I have found in my immediate vicinity. Just in case she wants a recommendation. My wife is always preaching to others about how great this ice cream is, too. So I guess this is how I find out my wife's Reddit handle is the ass man. I know this sounds cheesy, but learn their love language. Everyone has different ways of expressing or receiving love, and it's okay if you have different love languages, but you have to learn each other's. Otherwise, all the cute gestures and attempts to add romance will just fall flat. For example, buying gifts for your SO when they prefer actionable gestures will mean nothing to them knowing that you've left your dirty laundry on the floor for a week now. Yes, and not only this, but learning to recognize when your spouse is loving you in their love language is so sweet. When my husband got up with our toddler this morning and let me sleep, that's him loving me immensely. Did that speak to my love language? Not exactly. But knowing that it was him loving me in his love language made it so special to me. Learning each other's love languages and recognizing when they're being used is a huge deal in keeping your relationship healthy. 3 words. Never stop dating. No, really. Even after years of marriage, dating is super important. Set a date night, even if it's only monthly. This goes a long way. Edit. Right. I probably should have worded this a lot better. Never stop dating your spouse. There it is. As an addendum, be constantly making new memories. Eat at new restaurants, go to new places and try new things together. Good experiences make people feel positively about the person they're with. Bad experiences can become in-jokes and help foster an us against the world feeling. Bad experiences can become in-jokes and help foster an us against the world feeling. Yup. 16 years later, my wife and I still occasionally look back on the time we went to the seafood and BBQ restaurant in New England on our 4th anniversary. It was an abysmal dining experience, to say the least. But we laugh about it now. Listen to your partner. Do the things they've been asking you to do, like cleaning and organizing. Let them come home to a properly clean house. Make them dinner, pour them a drink and just sit and listen to them. If you spend even just 20 minutes really listening to them while they relax and unwind, they'll almost certainly show their appreciation later on. Leave notes that let them know you're thinking of them and how much you care about them. We both work. I wish he'd clean sometimes. He's home more than I am in the last couple months, and I'm still that one that cleans if anything gets done at all. It's very frustrating. I feel the same, but my partner doesn't really work. Depression is a bitch, but I'm not someone's parent. Do things outside of specific dates, like you don't need it to be Valentine's Day, your anniversary or your partner's birthday to do something romantic. This, even more so for the generic holidays, we just ignore them and celebrate life more consistently while avoiding the more spendy times of the year. I think it's very important to celebrate holidays. Try not to do it in a ridiculously consumerist day, but culturally shared holidays and festivals are extremely important, and we have way too few of them in most of the modern West. You just don't need it to be only the designated holidays to be romantic. I've been with my husband since we were 16. We're now in our early 30s. One of my favorite things to do together is cook a meal. It is romantic and relaxing to us. It makes me fall in love with him even more when I watch him cook. We started doing this about a year ago as well. Over time we realized that I'm a better cook than she is, and now I do most of the cooking. I'm also a lot quicker at cleaning up after, so I'd rather do that on my own as well. She really appreciates it and isn't shy to show it later. I won. You certainly did. I love making her food, especially because she's appreciative and not picky at all. To hell with the woman in the kitchen stereotypes and pass me the mittens. My partner and I do what we call naked day. It's pretty self-explanatory, we don't put clothes on all day. It's great because we are vulnerable with each other, we can't leave the house, so we hang out and get creative with what we do with our day. All contact is skin to skin, which is really important. And obviously you inevitably end up banging, which is great. Goddamn, can't wait till the kids move out of the house. Why wait? Jazz music stops. Yes. Married 10 years, started doing this when we were dating. Then added terrible movies and terrible food. Nachos, taquitos, pizza rolls, you know the stuff you're sorry you ate the next day, but the bonding that just naturally happens is amazing. 10/10 would recommend. Truly interested in what you end up doing when getting creative with your day. Sounds like so much fun, but my brain just isn't coming up with anything other than sex. Whatever you would normally do that doesn't require going outside. Contrary to what porn and pop culture would have you believe, nobody can stay interested in sex all day, except for maybe 16-year-olds. Wake up together naked, if the mood is there then you fuck. Then you cuddle. Then you play board games. Watch Netflix. Hey, hot naked lady. Fuck again. Make dinner together. Sit together and look at memes, sharing the best ones. Play a video game. Cuddle in bed. Hey, hot naked lady. Fuck again and fall asleep in each other's arms. My boyfriend and I do this thing where we make up characters and think about them for a week or so, but don't tell each other what the characters are like. Then we go on a blind date and we role play as those characters the whole evening. Even though the characters are supposed to be made up, of course they still have elements of our own personalities. It's like going on a first date a bunch of times. It's so much fun. That's pretty creative. Janet Snakehole. Burt Macklin, FBI Burt Macklin is dead, but I'm his twin brother, Kip Hackman. Helping around with chores, very simple but extremely effective. Builds appreciation, also you get the chores done quicker and more time for sexy time. Yes. It's much harder to want to get sexy when the house is disgusting and you feel unappreciated. Hello, this is my love language, acts of service, and 10/10 yes. I will never be mad at you doing a chore and you are automatically hotter washing dishes. Yes. How am I supposed to feel like your sexy or valued partner if you're treating me like your martyr complex mom? The laundry basket is right there, dude. Take the shot. We like to take bath showers together. It's an intimate experience for us and we always take the time to wash each other down. I love when he scratched my scalp and he loves the back scrub. For baths we play some Planet Earth in the background and have a big bubble bath running. We shower together every night. Not necessarily in a romantic way either, it's just our time together. Us too. At this point it's become just a normal habit for us, but I love it. We always shower together and we take a bubble bath together at least once a week. So relaxing. Putting on some fancy undies and heels and prancing around in front of my husband. It turns him on, turns me on, and leads to great sex which then gets all those love feelings going. This is so basic, but after 8 years of marriage and feeling like we are no longer in our prime, it really helps. My partner never wears this stuff. It's a huge turn on for me, but she refuses because she's not confident. I always praise her, and I think she's beautiful, but she has such low self-esteem it's killing me. I love confidence, it's super attractive. See, I really love a lot of traditionally sexy women's clothes. Heels, thongs, tight dresses, leather, stockings, corsets, push-up bras etc. But I also struggle with it being a really cliche thing for men to like. Oh look, a man wants me to dress like a stripper, great. That's especially true because I'm pretty big on gender equality and loosening gender roles, and usually find myself crushing on quite introverted, shy and sorta tomboyish girls. So I always feel like a bit of shit asking a partner to wear this sort of thing because it feels like I'm trying to change them. Maintain physical contact, could be just a hug or touching their hand, even post-honeymoon phase. Take some time to talk to them without any distractions, electronic or otherwise. You'd be surprised how often you'll find new anecdotes to tell them. We text a lot, but I usually like to save a folder of things that I want to show him when I see him next, instead of sending everything by text, a documentary or something that is interesting for more discussion. Take note of the little things they like to surprise them. My partner is hard to shop for and is very frugal, so doesn't buy anything for himself. Sometimes when I want to buy him something I'll steal his phone to see what kind of ads he gets. Keep discovering with them, a new coffee shop in your city or different country, or media content, or new sports activities. So a running joke in our marriage is my inability to be traditionally romantic. So a long time ago when he would do something sweet or say something romantic, I would look at him and respond, insert romantic something something here, or I feel like I should be saying something about, but I don't know what to say, so pretend I said something. For us it works. We have the same sense of humor and many of the same interests. He's a ridiculously romantic person, and I am not LOL. My guy is a romantic, and I've never had that before with my exes. It can be ridiculously sweet, but it can also really put me on the spot. He likes to just see me blush and get flustered. That's great, you got something that works for you. Being there for each other through the good and bad. Understanding it's not always 50-50. On days where I'm not having the best day, whether it's work stress or lack of sleep, my boyfriend will pull that extra weight by just being there for me. To me this is the most romantic thing. Being a priority to someone. My fiancé and I were talking with an elderly couple whose relationship we deeply admire, and we're generally asking them for wisdom regarding long-term happiness and success. Their advice was that instead of 50%, think of it as 100%, 100%. It is arguably a pedantic point, but it stuck with us. That mid-frame has been present in our relationship since, and I think we are stronger for it. It gives space to step up if one partner is down without an implied sense of imbalance, while also setting the intention that we are both gonna give this thing our all. Continually grow and develop as a person. Think of yourself as a device that requires periodic software updates. Just as your old Game Boy from 1994 might be fun to play with once in a while, it never changes and gets boring and old. To keep things alive, actively develop yourself. Learn new things, pick up new hobbies, travel to new places, read new books, etc. A couple that develops side by side forges a strong bond. That's pretty realistic good advice for any instance, especially relationships. Change is inevitable. Marriage is kind of a deeper, more terrifying commitment because it's agreeing to not only who they are now, but who they'll be decades down the line. You don't know who they'll be in that time or vice versa. You can only trust that you'll work it together. And not just down to the fact that you want to bone only each other at the time. That's just animal instinct, which is about as special and normal as taking a dump or needing water. No real effort or work to sustain that. This right here sounds like the type of love and work you have to earn. Me and my husband were high school sweethearts. There's a lot of change that goes on, and we still are absolutely insane for each other. I love him so much and I feel much strong with him in my life. A lot of people are surprised we were able to stay together through the years, but I've never even thought about breaking up once. We're different people than we were, but we're stronger than ever. All of this is to say, I think changing together like you said is the most important advice I can give, other than respecting each other. Life changes, dynamics change, but you have to learn to weather bad times as a team. My biggest notices in my marriage have been two things. Don't wait, and it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. What I meant by that is, don't wait to do things according to calendars, holidays or weekends. On your way home from work on a random Tuesday? Buy flowers, chocolates or a small trinket that they like. See their laundry piling up or see it's getting around dinner time? Do that laundry for them or just prep dinner, so it's one less thing for them to worry about. These small things may feel annoying at the moment, but it goes such a long way for an act that literally takes 15-minute stops. It's your laundry and your dinner too. This is so underrated. Generally, if one person cooks, the other washes dishes. Do you know how excited one of us gets when the other surprises us by doing both? Grand gestures are wonderful, but relationships take work every day. Do something purely to see the other smile, and you'll both be happier for it.
Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Tell me what you dislike or love about this video, so please comment below and hit the bell icon so you're notified anytime a new video is released. This is a WeCrow Media production.